Our next speaker is someone who is very, very important to this event today. We have our project coordinator, Jason Fromoltz, who I'm going to ask to come up. He has some words for us to help us get started and get pumped up for our run and our walk today.
Good morning. Can everyone hear me all right? In the back, can you guys hear me okay? Thank you all so much for being here. It's incredible to see everybody here. We've been seeing you register online, and it's just exciting to see everybody here together. So thank you so much for making this event such a success in our second year. You know, a few weeks ago, my grandmother passed away, and there's not a day that goes by where I don't think about her and miss her terribly. She was an important person in my life, and she was important to her 6 other grandchildren and 10 great-grandchildren. But over the past few weeks, as I thought about my grandmother, I wasn't overwhelmed with grief or sadness. I was inspired by all she had seen and done in her life. You see, my grandmother was 96 years old when she passed away. 96 years old. As a child growing up, she was my go-to for history projects. Whenever I needed an interview, I would just pick up the phone and call my grandmother because she could tell me what it was like being a kid during the Great Depression, or what it was like being a young woman during the start of World War II when Rosie the Riveter took center stage and women began entering the workforce. She was there for the beginning of the Civil Rights Movement in the 1960s, and she was there when America elected its first African-American president. She had seen it all. But more importantly than what she had seen, my grandmother valued what she had done, and her family was her greatest accomplishment. She had 4 incredible children, all of whom she got to watch grow old. She had 7 great children which she worked hard to instill values and character in. And she showered her 10 great-grandchildren with all the love in the world that she could. My grandmother would have considered, or would have thought that she had lived life to the fullest. And she was able to live her life to the fullest because she had the opportunity to. My grandmother never had cancer. Now it's true that today, someone can be diagnosed with cancer and thanks to new developments in technology and research, live a long life just like my grandmother did. I know so many people who have beaten cancer. My cousin beat breast cancer. My mom and best friend from high school survived thyroid cancer. And my neighbor growing up gave a swift knockout to prostate cancer. But not everyone has that opportunity. In 2008, lung cancer killed my father. For the last 20 years of his life, he worked so hard, 2 jobs, just to keep my family out of poverty and make sure that my brother and I could go to college. In the last few months of his life, he was getting ready to retire, to go on that fishing trip to Big Bear Lake that he always wanted to go to, or to take my mom on that trip to Hawaii that he had been talking about for years and years and years, or to just sit in front of the TV for a whole summer watching the Yankees on that new MLB cable channel my mom had just bought him. Because after working hard all of his life, he had finally earned the right to relax. There were so many other things that he wanted to see, so many other things that he wanted to do, that he'll never have the opportunity to. Each year, 160,000 people die of lung cancer. And with a survival rate of only 15%, it's earned a reputation for being one of the deadliest cancers, for being the deadliest cancer. For the past 50 years, when anyone has ever walked into a doctor's office for their initial diagnosis of lung cancer, it was like they were being told, may the odds be ever in your favor. Because unlike with breast or prostate or thyroid cancer, there were no effective treatment options, and symptoms didn't exist. So if you had lung cancer, you were told to pray or to hope for luck, because it was all that you could do. When my father passed away, I began asking why. Why wasn't there a cure? Why weren't there effective treatments? Why weren't there great detection technologies that could find cancer before it was too late? And why couldn't my father have the same opportunity for a long life like my grandmother did? The answer is simple. So simple that it was really hard to stomach. The answer was funding. For every major disease that received adequate research funding, effective treatments were discovered. But year after year after year, lung cancer research got the short end of the stick. $2,000 per fatality. $2,000. When other diseases were getting 20 to hundreds of thousands of dollars for research. The battle against lung cancer desperately needed a shift in momentum. Over the past few years, Longevity has been having events like this all over the country and changing the tide in the battle against lung cancer. Because of these efforts combined with the efforts of others, we've already seen amazing developments in the fight against lung cancer. Over the past few years alone, researchers have uncovered new targeted therapies which address very specific types of lung cancer and have helped create a handful of more survivors. People all over the country are learning more about the importance of early detection and getting checked in CT scan for lung cancer, because you don't have to be a smoker to get lung cancer, and people are learning that everybody is at risk and that there are no symptoms. So the only way to make sure you don't have it is to get yourself a CT scan and to check. And more events are happening, are meaning that millions and millions of dollars are coming in for lung cancer research. But it's not enough. We must continue to fundraise. 220,000 more people will go into a doctor's office this year and find out that a loved one has lung cancer. In our lifetime, 1 in 14 of Americans, will have that conversation. And right now, there are not targeted therapies for every single type of cancer. A majority of those with lung cancer are still waiting on a therapy to treat their specific type of cancer. So we need to fundraise more. By continuing to fundraise, we are making sure that each and every one of those families, when they walk into a doctor's office, that they know that luck isn't their only treatment option, that targeted therapies will be available for them. By continuing to fundraise more, we are working to make sure that no family ever enters a doctor's office and feels like they're being told, may the odds be ever in your favor. By continuing to fundraise, we are making the odds be ever in their favor. By continuing to fundraise, we are making sure that no father ever misses his chance of retirement because his life was stolen from him. And by continuing to fundraise, we are making sure that every single person in the future who is ever diagnosed with lung cancer has the opportunity to live a long and healthy life, just like my grandmother did. We must continue to work hard, and we must continue to fundraise. We can be proud of everything that we've accomplished here today. And we can be proud of everything that we've accomplished all over the country. You know, today there are Breathe Deep events happening, and just this month alone, Breathe Deep events in Michigan and Maryland and Georgia have already raised $200,000. And here alone at Breathe Deep Bay Area, you guys have raised $30,000 in online registration alone. And we can all be very, very proud of that, but we cannot stop now. We can be proud of everything that we've accomplished, but we cannot be content. So I am laying down a challenge. We're going to leave our online fundraising open for the next week. And in that week, we together are going to break $35,000. We are going to fundraise $5,000 more dollars, and that's going to start today. So if you have a cell phone with you, take it out. If you don't have it with you, you can type this message later, but if you have it, take it out. And I want you to think about three people who are in your phone who you haven't asked to donate yet, or 3 people who you've asked but haven't given. And I want you to send them a message. I'm at Breathe Deep Bay Area, and I'm here to raise funds for critical lung cancer research, and I need your support. Can I count on you for $25? Can I count on you for 50? Can I count on you for 100? And then send them to our website, www.longevity.org/Bay Area. Because we need their support. We need them, and we need you to ask. We also have some donation jars over at our registration booths. And if you have any loose change or loose bills crumpled up in your pockets, we need you to give that money today. We've also got credit card forms geared up and ready to go. If you can give more, we can take more, and we need you to give more. You know, my grandmother saw a lot in her life, and I'm really sad that she won't get to see the end of lung cancer. But we will. and we are the ones that are going to make it happen. Thank you.